Hello, my name is Ron Wolf, and this is module number 10, and it's talking about the 10 expectations of students have in the school system. The first one is about relationships. The first main thing I think you need to do in a school as a teacher, as an administrator, you have to build positive relationships with students. You have to get students to be able to trust you. I'm a behavior specialist in the school district, and to get students to talk about difficult things, you don't just get to do that on day one. You have to be able to interact with them, show them that school is a safe place. Positive relationships will lead to engagement. When I co-teach, when I know that when I have students that are having bad days, get them to smile, get them to loosen up, get them to laugh, get them engaged in the classroom. I know that helps them. I know that helps when they leave the room. Uh, that they feel like there's worth there. And engagement again will lead to student success. It'll lead to higher test scores. It'll lead to less behaviors, and relationships with students, those will last forever. A student once, I think everybody knows of a good teacher they had. And I think every student wants to come into a school system wanting to have that relationship with an adult. The next one is relevance. Choose topics that are related to real life situations. Students want to know why they're learning this. They want to know why it's relevant to today's world. Don't make students jump through loopholes. There's nothing worse than, if you want a student to learn A, but you make them jump through CBD, ZBD, and all these loopholes, a student figures that out. And by the time they get to A, which you really want them to learn, usually they're either burnt out or they're shut off and don't want to learn by then. And then work and learning. And I think that's important. What I mean by that, or what the video meant by that too, is work and learning are both important. You got to do them both. You can't just sit there and learn all day. You have to be able to apply your work and apply what you're learning. So they work hand in hand. Time is important. Understand what each grade level can do. If you're doing fifth grade, don't be doing high school stuff. Choose appropriate time when students are ready. Make sure that students are ready to be tested, and don't worry about clocks or deadlines. Sometimes, I think sometimes we get wrapped up and we got to teach kids everything. They got to know everything. If students can know the basic skills, they can really build off those basic skills. And kids are smart and they're resilient, and they will learn to build off those skills. So sometimes we're always worried about deadlines, but giving a student that extra time, maybe they just need that extra time, and maybe that will make it click for them, and maybe that'll make it click for the next few lessons down the road. Timing. Let students learn at their own pace and style. And what I don't mean that in every situation, but there's certain situations where things are tough and students maybe need extra time. They need extra learning. They need small group. Do those things. If no order needed, then let the student choose. So, if there's no step by step method, maybe there's 8 things to do. Let the student choose what they do first. As long as it gets done, that's really the important thing. Not that they do it one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. It's that they, have some ownership in that. And I think when students have ownership in what they're doing, they learn at a lot higher rate. Timing is everything in life, and I put that just as, just for us, in your job and your career and everything you do in life. Timing is about that. And that's the same way with students in the classroom. You never know what time of the day or what time of the night or when it's going to happen, when that light bulb clicks on for that student. So you can't give up. You just got to keep on going. Play. Don't put pressure on all tests, and I think that's important. I mean, students know what a test is. They know that it's tough. You don't always have to put pressure on the students with testing. Students can learn information, then put it into play. So maybe that means that they don't just have to do a handwritten test. Maybe they can verbally tell you it. Maybe they can act it out for you. Let students learn the way that they can show you the best way to understand the concept. Again, that's the most important thing. And finally, students can learn by using games and technology. And I think that's big anymore. I mean, yes, that can be detrimental in schools, but I think it can also be a huge, huge advantage. And using different games and technology, I'm co-teaching a reading class, and I mean, Quizlet Live and Book It. I mean, those things are just unbelievable because they create competition in the classroom for students, but there are also ways that reading levels are increasing. We've got ownership in what we're doing, and yes, you got to remind sometimes kids not to guess, but that also hurts them in that sense when they miss those questions. So I think it really has slowed down classrooms for us and let kids really slow down and read and take their time and do a lot better job. Practice, learn, then apply what we've learned. That's huge in practice. I mean, that's what's going to make us better. Use practice materials students enjoy. So again, whatever way a student can learn, as long as they can show that and show that skill, that's the main thing. But also monitor and practice tests. So if you have kids that are accomplish something, move them on. If you have kids that need more times, let them. It's okay, and let a student know that it's okay. They want to understand that it's okay, and that they can practice this, and they want to do well on a test. I don't think the students really all the time want to line up and just do poorly on tests. They do poorly on tests just because they don't know what's on the test, or they haven't studied or taken the time to learn what's on the test. Choices. Students have real choices on how they learn. They if they have choice and ownership in that, they will really buy in, I think. And that's, again, where we can see great growth. The path they want, they can see that path with a choice. Maybe they can lay that path out when they see that choice. So that's important for them. It's the what, the when, the how they learn. And that's, again, the most important thing. Give kids choices, give students multiple ways to learn. Authenticity. It's reliable to outside sources, and does the community value my work? Is it authentic? Is it real? I'm not just copying this down. Students make them have value in things. When students have value in education, I think they learn a lot higher levels too. So authenticity is very important. With your community, publish things, let people see things, let people comment on things, and make it reliable and relatable to your community topics. That's huge. Have your community give feedback to your students. Have your students give feedback to your community. All those things are great ways to learn. Challenge. Make sure we're challenging students. Has to mean more than just finishing assignments. Act on your thoughts. Students. If they're just turning an assignment and turning an assignment and turning an assignment, pretty soon they don't even know what they learned. You know, I think that we have to make sure that we always tie it back to, hey, from the beginning of class to the end of the class, the beginning of the year to the end of the year, sorry, you know, these are the things I want you to learn. These are the things I want you to accomplish. And we have to go back and remind them of those things all the time. And then we can always make those things harder. I don't think we always have to give them more to learn. Maybe challenge them in the things that we really want them to excel at. And then application, being able to apply what they know in real life situations. Again, that's what students want to know. That's what they want real life. They want right now. We live in the moment. We live in the day and age of right now. Is what you work for, is it what you work for? This is what students want. Again, they live in the now and days. Cell phones were now and then. So we're in the day of now. We don't want to wait. And so students, that's how they want to learn too. Um, the final part here is again about standard correlation, relevant, and reflection. On standard correlation, I put the standard correlations with the model or module is important for students, teachers, and administrators. Students needs to understand what they are learning and how they can apply this knowledge. Teachers need to make sure students are learning the best way for the student and not for the teacher. As an administrator, it's my job to make sure teachers are adjusting to all thinkers and to make sure students are motivated with what they are learning. Relevant. This module is very relevant because it deals with what production teachers are getting out of students. These core values need to be tested to see what the students know, but loopholes or extra work isn't necessary for student success. Creating a balance will increase learning and increase test scores, which is a huge key in school systems. Being able to show growth and figure out how to get each student growth is a major role as an educator. Sorry for the typo there. Reflection. As a future principal, I feel these norms need to be addressed to staff and students each school year. Staff needs to understand how each student learns best and needs to build positive relationships from day one. Students need to know what adults care about, what they learn, and care about their future. Becoming a great administrator means I understand how to balance both these norms and how to grow each school year.